Hi, I'm Jo and welcome to my stitchy spot. Today we're going to look at ways to create smooth edges and add some detail. In the last video we stitched this little heart. It's just two colours. Today we're going to add a third colour and some details. Now you may notice that this heart is a bit blocky. The diagonals are a bit zigzaggy. So one of the things we're going to look at today is how to smooth out the edges. And we're going to do that with backstitch and fractional stitches. Okay, so demo time. I'm using 3 strands of floss just to try and make the stitches stand out a little bit on the fabric. We're going to start with half stitches. So you bring your needle up where you want to start, and we're just doing a diagonal corner to corner. Oh, look, a knot. Just if you catch it soon enough, knots can just pull out quite easily. So as you see, knots happen, twists happen, just keep an eye on it. So that's half stitches in the way I would normally do my bottom leg of the cross. But you can do them in the other direction. Right, quarter stitches. Now these go from corner to centre, and I do try to stitch them from corner to centre because certainly on the Ada fabric it does take a bit of effort to get the needle through the fabric. It will go, just need to wiggle it a bit. If you look close at the fabric you can see that each warp and weft is 4 threads, so you want to go in between, right in the middle of the 4 and 4, so you've got 2 at either side of the needle. And I just find it easier to visualize that from the front. It's much harder to find the center from the back. So to do a 3/4 stitch, I prefer, if at all possible, to do the quarter first and then do the half stitch afterwards, just so you can see the center. Like that. That is your 3/4 stitch. So you can see. Back to the heart. Today we're going to do these outside stitches, the black circle, which is DMC number 602. Now we have 3/4 stitches on this side and quarter stitches on this side with backstitch. So we're going to count 2 up from here, 2 up, and that's our start. So we've got 2 full stitches and a quarter stitch. Then we're going over to this 3/4 stitch, which starts above this pink, but on that row. So we're doing this line. Okay, get rid of that, just pull it through, still stitch over it. So yeah, I said I do prefer to do the quarter bit first, but that doesn't always work out. And the quarter, not going through the back properly. Don't worry about it. The main bit thing is that it goes through the front in the right place. 3/4 in. Now we want the half to stitch over the top. And then another 1/4 stitch at the end. I'm going to leave you now, finish doing the crosses, the 3/4 and the 1/4, and I'll come back when we're ready for the back stitch. So we're on the last leg of stitching our little heart design. As you can see, the edges look a lot smoother now we've introduced the fractional stitches. The 3/4 very smooth, lovely nice line. 1/4 still a little bit jagged, but better than before. Now we're going to make this as smooth as this using Backstitch. So Backstitch has a couple of uses: definition and detail. So by smoothing out the edges, we're adding definition, and we'll be adding a 4th tiny heart in the centre, just for a bit of detail. So let's have a look on the chart. Now, the black line indicates the back stitch. The pink is for the 3/4. We can ignore those. So the black line only. So I'm going to start here on that corner to corner on that diagonal. Careful not to pull your thread out. We will be stitching over that when we go down this edge, so it will be very secure. So you go back 1. Now this is where we come to angles. Going up 1, across 2. And back to the end of the last stitch. So you can already see how it's shaping up. So I'm just going to jump across to the junction between the 3rd and the 2nd colour. Okay, so I'm going to move down to the divide between the 1st and the 2nd colour. So now I'm going to jump again over to this central tiny heart, which is purely detail. And we are here because we've just gone down into that space. 2 stitches to the right. Now I am going to jump to, I'm going to do the longer stitches here, especially if you're doing back stitch in the direction of the top leg of the stitch. Your back stitch can sometimes pull down in between, so be careful not to pull it too tight. You want just a nice flat stitch without pulling in. But also then if you're going over 2, that's much less likely to happen anyway. Then 2 across, 2 up, 2 across, 2 down. That's the little detail half finished. 6 stitches on top of other crosses. Nice little detail. So I'm going to finish all the backstitch off camera and I'll come back and show you when it's done. And that's it. That's the heart finished. I'm really quite pleased with it. I think I do prefer the left side to the right, but I wanted you to see the difference in the two techniques, but also what a difference that backstitch makes. And that's it. With just 2 stitches and a couple of variations, you're able to tackle almost any design you want. In a future video, I'll show you some more variations and the Marmite stitch, the French knot. You'll either love them or hate them, but for now, you have everything you need. In the next video, we're going to look at some of the jargon and acronyms floating around the cross-stitch community. If you've ever done any sort of craft, you may already be familiar with some of them. See you there.